Welcome back here to the Kingsman Baseball Network. It's time to take you through the Kingsman starting lineup here this morning from Houston, Texas. Caden McNeil in the leadoff spot, followed by the second baseman Owen Beatrice. Montgomery Hart in the 3-hole as Izzy Clase bats cleanup. Hudson Entrican in the 5-hole, followed by Anthony Seminara and Tristan Harless. And then the final two in the order, Christian Burney is the catcher. Ryan Waters in center field in the 9-hole. Mike Irving's on the mound. We'll talk defensive when we get there in the bottom of the first. The Kingsman hitting against Jackson Fetters, the right-hander, 2027 grad, and he pitches to the speedster, Caden McNeil. First pitch of the ball game, and it is taken just low of the knees for a ball. McNeil has had a big week already in Houston. Couple of hits, including a triple. He fouls that one off. The count is 1-1. McNeil, Beatrice, then Hart. The Kingsmen looking for some early offense. It was 0-0 yesterday until the 5th inning. Fetters out of the windup, 1-1. McNeil squares the bunt. Back to the pitcher it goes. Fetters throws to first and has McNeil for out number 1. Tried to bunt himself aboard and ended up a little bit too close to the hill. One away for Owen Beatrice. Defensively for the Rebels, it's Darden, Crosby, and Dowell in the outfield. 4 Gates, Avalos, and Reeder in the infield with Bubke doing the catching for Jackson Fetters. So 1 out after McNeil had the ground out. Here is Beatrice, the St. John's commit. First pitch. And a big cut. Empty on the fastball, 0-1. 0-1 pitch, and a breaking ball there, swung on and missed by Beatrice to make it 0-2. The Kingsmen looking for the win today to finish the trip 3-1 against the Bennett School. Nearly had the win one day ago. 0-2 just off the outside corner. Great take by Beatrice, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. And appeal down to first says no swing. Another close is 2-2 now to Owen Beatrice. Kingsman looking for their first base runner. Beatrice had a single, and he also walked in yesterday's loss. 2-2 is well outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. After Beatrice, it'll be Hart and Clase. Fetters had Beatrice 0-2, and now the full count pitch. Fastball lifted high in the air, shallow center. Going back on it is Avalos. He's called off by the center fielder coming in, and it is Clayton Crosby with the out for the second out of the inning. So here is the left-handed hitter, Montgomery Hart, trying to kickstart this first inning. Dalen 4, Clayton Crosby, and Carson Reeder, first 3 on tap in the bottom of the first. Sweeper inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Hart out of Warren, Ohio. 1-0 to the shortstop. And a foul tip into the glove of the catcher, Bubke. Hart, the starting shortstop for this Kingsman prospect team, reached base 3 times yesterday. He takes a fastball on the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Israel Clase will hit if we see another hitter in the first. Fetters out of the windup, 1-2. Chopper up the middle. Second baseman Avalos coming in on it. Tough throw, 1 hop, and it's off the glove of the first baseman. Hart had it beat anyway. An infield single here with 2 away for Montgomery Hart. So here is Izzy Classe, the third baseman for the Kingsmen. Another left-handed bat against Jackson Fetters. A throw to check on Hart. Classe out of Charlotte, North Carolina. First pitch, hit foul. 0-1 to Izzy. There's a line drive into left field, hooking right at the left fielder, Darden, and the catch is made for out number 3. Good piece of bat on ball, but nothing from it. Top of the first and 0-0. And Bennett School will come up to hit against Micah Irving when we come back on the Kingsman Baseball Network. Bottom of the first here in Houston, Texas. The Kingsmen with their final game of 4 in the Space City. Heading home tonight to the Charlotte area of North Carolina. The Kingsmen looking for a win to cap off the trip against one of the best teams that Texas has to offer. Micah Irving is out there to start this game for the Kingsmen on the mound. The right-hander out of Charlotte, North Carolina has been so good over the last couple of starts. Irving last pitching against DSC last week in Richmond, Virginia. Irving has his infield behind him of Classe, Hart, Beatrice, and Seminara. Christian Burney, the catcher out of Florida, behind the dish. And then it's McNeil, Waters, and Entrican in the outfield. So Irving pitching against Dalen Ford, Clayton Crosby, and Carson Reeder. 1, 2, 3, as the right-hander will get going. So it's the third baseman, Dalen Ford, to lead things off, wearing the number 29 for the Bennett School in the red jerseys. 2 for 3 yesterday against the Kingsman pitching. First pitch out of the windup. Fastball hit in the air to right center field. Entrican tracking. It's over his head, and it one hops off the wall. Entrican bare hands and throws it into the infield. It's a leadoff double for Dalen Ford, just as he did yesterday. So Clayton Crosby, the next to hit against Irving. Micah now needing to work out of the stretch. Runner on second, nobody out. First pitch. Fastball outside corner. Did not get the call. 1-0. Decent lead at second for 4. 1-0 pitch. Similar spot, 2 balls and no strikes. It's Crosby, Reeder, and then Gates. And does not get the call there either. Fastball just missed the knees. 3 balls and no strikes. Crosby, then Reeder, then Gates. Runner on second, nobody out here in a 0-0 ball game. See if Crosby has the green light against Irving. He sure did. He swung on and missed. 3 balls and a strike. Irving set at the belt, glances at second. And here's the 3-1. And it's outside. He walks Crosby to put runners on second and first. So the Kingsman infield of Clase, Hart, Beatrice, and Seminara looking for a ground ball here. Get him a couple of outs in the bottom of the first. Kingsman surrendered a leadoff double in the bottom of the first of yesterday's contest, and then were able to retire the next three hitters after that. Slider away, a nice knock by Bernie to keep it in front, 1-0. Pitch, and it's a fastball low and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Irvin's going to take a second reset here against Carson Reeder, the first baseman in the 3-hole today, just as he was yesterday. Did not have a hit in yesterday's ball game. Foul tips one into the glove of Bernie to make it 2-1.
Let's go, baby.
2 balls and 1 strike. Owen Beatrice backs a couple steps closer to second. And there's the ball hit into right field, hooking away from Entrekin, and it will get to the wall on a hop. Hudson Entrekin fields it, gets it in, 1 run, scores, a second run coming in straight behind. The throw to the plate, not in time, and on the throw, Reeder heads to third. It's a double to score the first 2 runs of the game, and it is 2-0. So runner on third with nobody out here for Harper Gates. This game starting an hour earlier than previously scheduled due to the Kingsman flying out this evening, trying to get to the airport as quickly as possible. 1-0. It's a nice breaking ball in there for a called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to Harper Gates with Judson Dowell and JT Darden behind him in the Rebel order. There's a foul ball off of the mask of Christian Bernie. Quickly 2 strikes to Harper Gates. Irving looking for his first punch out.
Let's take 1. Let's go, buddy.
Ball and 2 strikes to Harper Gates with Dowell on deck. Irving out of the stretch. And a breaking ball low and away. Nearly got the chase from Gates, but he held off 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two to the fastball, low and away that time. 3-2 now the count. That ball hit sky high left side of the infield. Clase under it and charges in a couple of steps to make the catch for out number 1. Big out for Irving and the Kingsman defense to keep that runner on third and get the first out here in the bottom half of the first frame. Here's Judson Dowell. He was a tough one to stop in yesterday's contest. Went 3 for 4 with 2 doubles. Irving facing him here with 1 away. 2-0 here in the bottom of the first. Breaking ball away, 1-0. One ball, no strikes. Fastball fouled off. Trying to hit that outside corner. He did so. Dowell got a little bit of the bat on it. In the top of the second, we'll see Hudson Entrican, Anthony Seminara, and Tristan Harless. 5, 6, 7 for the Kingsmen. Back to the fastball, this time inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Kingsmen in yesterday's game were down by as much as 3 before that 5-run 7th. A back and forth game yesterday against the Bennett School. Hoping for another good game here today. 2-1 the count. And high to Dowell for ball 3. On deck for the Rebels is J.T. Darden, the left fielder. He was the designated hitter in yesterday's contest, at least to start, and then he headed out to left later on when the pitching changes were made. 3-1. There's a high fly ball on the infield. Seminara and Beatrice head that way. Seminara a couple steps into foul ground, reaches up and makes the catch. And a couple of infield pop-ups in a row for Micah Irving has seen the Kingsmen grab 2 outs here in the first. It's good work against some really good hitting, keeping the ball out of the outfield, and now a chance to keep that runner on third for good here against Darden with 2 outs. First pitch from the Charlotte native. And that sits in there for a called strike on the outer half of the zone. Darden in yesterday's game was 2 for 3. Fastball at the knees. A good one from Irving to get ahead 0-2. The right-hander trying to get out of the frame. Bernie sets up, 0-2 pitch. And a foul ball off the bat of J.T. Darden. Pitch number 25 for Irving here in the first. 0-2. A good snag by Bernie to keep the runner planted. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Carson Reeder has been on third since his double. Here's the 1-2 and another foul ball. Darden making Irving work and vice versa.
You got it. Let's go, baby.
Once again, the Kingsmen bringing up Entrican, Seminara, and Harless here in the second inning. A hit so far for the Kingsmen, but nothing to show for it here in Houston. The pitch. Breaking ball sat high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jet Bubke, the catcher, to the plate if we see another hitter here in the first. Runner on third with 2 outs. Breaking ball hit down the line and fair as it rolls into the left field corner past the glove of Crosse. McNeil is up with it as JT Darden strolls into second with an RBI. It's the 3rd double of the inning for the Rebels here on offense. An absolute battle between Irving and Darden. It saw JT Darden fight off 2 or 3 fastballs and then see one he liked and just hook it inside the third base foul line. So here's Jet Bubke. Fastball away, 1-0. Here comes Coach Joe Hudak to have a quick chat with Micah Irving. We'll step aside for just a minute here on the Kingsman Baseball Network. Back here in the bottom of the first inning, Griffin Leonard with you here for Kingsman Baseball against the Bennett School. After the mound visit, it is Irving against Bubke. There's a pop-up first base side and hooking into right field. Hudson Entrikin over to it, and he has it for out number 3. Couple runs on the board for Bennett here in the first. They take an early lead. We head to the second, and the Kingsmen try to strike back when we come back on the Kingsman Baseball Network. Here in the second inning in Houston, the Kingsmen looking for an offensive spark against Jackson Fetters. That's a good first pitch slider to get ahead of Hudson Entrikin. The right fielder batting in the 5-hole for the Kingsmen today, reached base 3 of his 4 times to the dish in the contest, 0-1. And now he fouls one off. He's behind 0-2, fighting against the right-hander. 1 hit for the Kingsmen off of Fetters already. It came on an infield hit from Montgomery Hart in the first. It's Entrikin, Seminara, and Harless to hit here in the second for the Kingsmen, chasing a 3-0 Bennett lead. That runs inside and hits Entrikin. Fetters loses him on 0-2. And it's a leadoff man on for the Kingsmen for the first time today. So here is Anthony Seminara, the first baseman, at his first home run of the spring in last week's DSC Prospect Series out in Richmond, Virginia. They'll dig in here for the Kingsmen with nobody out. First pitch from Fetters is a big cut, drilled at the third baseman, fielded on a knee by 4. He goes to second for 1, and across the diamond, around the horn for a double play. 4 to Avalos to Reeder. And quickly, 2 away here in the top of the second after the Kingsmen had the leadoff man on. So next to hit, Tristan Harless, the DH. He takes one just off the outside corner. Called a ball by our home plate umpire. It's 1-0. Tristan Harless, then Christian Burney if the Kingsmen get another hitter to the plate. 1-0. There's a foul tip into the glove of the catcher Bubke. It's Horton, Avalos, and then the top of the order for Dalen 4 in the second for the Bennett School. 1-1. Outside corner that time. He got the call to make it 1-2. Two strikes to Harless. And he strikes him out on the outside half of the zone for out number 3. The Kingsmen get the leadoff man on, but do not threaten here in the second. We head to the bottom half. It's 8-9-1, pardon me, as we head to the bottom of the second here on the Kingsman Baseball Network. Here we go, bottom of the second here in Houston, Texas. Second game of the Prospects. 2 games against the Bennett School this week. 7-6 thriller ended in a Bennett win yesterday, and the Rebels have an early lead over the Kingsmen in this afternoon's contest. Still the morning here in Houston, actually. 10:30 local time. Thanks for joining us if you're up and about. First pitch, a foul ball, once again off the mask of Christian Burney, this time hit by Miles Horton, designated hitter for the Bennett School, hitting for Jackson Fetters. And ensuing Rebels pitching. Mike Irving looking for a crisp second inning. Got a few flyouts to get himself out of the first, but 3 doubles gave the Rebels a big first frame. Pitching against Horton, Avalos, and 4. 0-1 after the foul ball. And Irving going to step off. Missed inside that time. 1 ball and 1 strike. Once again, the Kingsmen in the field. McNeil, Waters, and Entrican in the outfield, left to right. Clase Hart, Beatrice Seminara on the infield. 1-1 pitch, and it's off the plate outside. Got to the backstop. Two balls and a strike. Opening hitter here in the bottom of the second. It's a strike in there to make it 2-2. Aiden Avalos on deck. We saw both Horton and Avalos in these same spots in yesterday's game. Neither one had a hit in the 1-run win for the Rebels. 2-2. And that curveball outside to make the count full. Full count pitch, leadoff man up here in the bottom of the second. And a foul ball. After the foul ball, here is another 3-2 pitch from Mike Irving out of the windup. And that ball lasered over the Kingsman dugout, foul. Well out in front of that one was the hitter Horton. Couple of foul balls. Here's another 3-2 from Irving. And a cue shot Micah continues to change speeds, and Horton fighting to stay alive here against the Charlotte arm. Another 3-2. And another foul ball. Oh, how about Preston Hudak down the line? If I didn't know any better, I'd say he used to play at UNC. Another 3-2. And finally, Horton able to get one off the plate, and he wins the battle, a leadoff walk. So Irving will work from the stretch here in the second against Aiden Avalos, Bennett School second baseman. First pitch, squaring to bunt, Avalos gets it down. Irving, the backhand stop, goes to first, and the scoop from Seminara. Nice play off the mound for Micah Irving, and the sacrifice bunt moves the runner to second with one away. So the Rebels get a man in scoring position here, but one out in the second. The Kingsmen trying to put a defensive 0 up on the board here in the home half of inning number 2. Top of the order for the Bennett School, Dalen Ford doubled off of Irving his first time. That curveball low and away, 1-0. For Crosby and Reeder, the next couple up for the Bennett School. To the fastball, just missed the top of the zone. 2 balls and no strikes. Two-0 pitch. Fastball hit up the middle and into center field. Waters with it. As the runner cycles third, Miles Horton comes in to score on the Dalen 4 RBI single. Runner on first, one away. First pitch to Crosby is outside. Runner on the move, a high fly ball to right field. Encherkin chasing, that ball is gone. Clayton Crosby leaves the yard. The center fielder hits the first home run of the series for the Rebels. It's a 2-run shot to make it 6. So fresh slate for the defense now. Carson Reeder on to hit. Bases clear, 1 away. Irving trying to come back after the big fly. 1 ball, no strikes, blocked by Bernie. Harris Clark is getting ready down in the bullpen. We'll see if he comes in within the next frame. One and 0. Fastball hit right back at Irving. It hit him. He picks it up, throws to first, and it is fielded by Seminara for out number 2. And quickly the coaching staff out to check on Micah Irving, who looked like that ball, he took it off of the chest. It's quickly back up onto the mound. Coach Hudak gives him a pat on the shoulder. He's going to be good to continue here. They were looking at the left side of his face in addition to where it initially looked like it hit his chest and may have bounced up and grazed the chin of the Kingsman right-hander. So he gets the ground ball out, and here is Harper Gates. Popped out to third his last time. And that one away for ball number 1. Swing and a miss. 1-1. It's in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike. Two away here in the bottom of the second. The Kingsmen will bring up Bernie, Waters, and McNeil in the third. And that one off the plate outside. 3 balls and a strike. And that one misses a 2-out walk to put Gates aboard Judson Dowell, the next hitter. Judson Dowell popped out his first time as well. Runner on first, 2 away. First pitch. Fastball off the end of the bat, dribbled toward first. After the foul ball, we'll see the next pitch from Irving against Crosby, or against Dowell, excuse me. Judson Dowell digs in the pitch. Fastball hit foul again. Dowell behind it, 0-2. Credit to Irving for fighting through some tough spots here. It's the right-hander. Probably against the stiffest competition he'll see all season, especially to this point in the year. 25 innings pitched so far for the right-hander. He gets another foul ball to remain at 0-2. 25 innings on the season. He's 4-0 on the year. Just 4 earned runs prior to today with a 3.36 ERA. Or excuse me, 12 earned runs over the course of the season. He struggled to get the mojo going here in his 2 innings of work today. Throw over to first. Good move, but back safely goes Gates. 2 strikes, runner on the move, a ground ball, third base side, and past the dive of Clausen. To left for McNeil, they'll throw to second, and it'll be runners on the corners as Dowell singles. The 2-strike hitting from Bennett has been excellent. Foul ball after foul ball, getting 2-strike hits. Irving yet to register a strikeout in this one. He has 7 strikeouts in 3 of his 7 starts coming into today, but has yet to get a punch out here in an inning and 2/3 of work against the Rebels. JT Darden, the left fielder, batting 6th, hitting with runners on the corners and 2 outs. In there for a called strike, inner half. Eight, 9-1 once again. A reminder, Bernie, Waters, and McNeil in the third. Bernie, the catcher, has looked good behind the plate so far today. We'll see what he's got his first time at the plate. High for a ball. Two balls and 1 strike. Irving has runners on the corners, and the runner takes off as the ball lifted high in the air, first base side of the infield, foul, and out of play.
Let's take 1. Let's go, JT. Come on.
2-2. Bubkey up next if the Rebels get one more to the plate here in the second. Harris Clark continues to get ready down the line. But I suspect the Kingsman coaching staff wants to see Irving find a way out of this second. Gotten a couple of ground outs in the inning. Let's see if the runner is on the move. Dowell was moving on the last pitch. He does take off. 2-2 in the dirt, and it gets to the left of Bernie. No runner from third will try to score, but Dowell does move up to second. Three balls and 2 strikes after the pitch in the dirt. Trying to get JT Darden here to end the second. Ground ball, shortstop side. Montgomery Hart has it at the chest. Throws to first in time, and the inning is over. Big fly, the highlight here in the bottom of the second. Then it's got a good lead on the Kingsmen, who will try to respond when we come back on the Kingsman Baseball Network. Third inning here in Houston, Texas, home of the Bennett School. Mendel Field, the home of today's contest. The Rebels with a 6-0 lead over the Kingsmen. Christian Burney leading things off against Jackson Fetters. And Burney takes a hack of the first pitch he sees, lifts it foul first base side, Reeder over to the fence and runs out of room. It is 0-1. Burney hunting the fastball early, and why wouldn't you? We've seen the power in the bat of the Florida catcher this season, second on the team in home runs. The Kingsmen will be looking for base runners, if nothing else. Here as they try to mount a comeback here in the third. 0-1. And he rips at third base side, but foul. Quickly behind 0-2. It's Bernie, then the center fielder Ryan Waters, and then it'll be Caden McNeil on the top of the order. 0-2, Bernie will have to watch the off-speed. Fetters goes to the fastball and misses inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One, 2. And that's a breaking ball away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And takes another one in the dirt. Christian Burney had an RBI yesterday in the second game that the varsity team played and defeated the Bennett School. Another full count pitch, and he has lost him. Christian Burney draws a walk to lead off the third. And there's the base runner that the KBA was looking for to start the inning. We'll see what Ryan Waters can do against Fetters. Going to see a courtesy runner here in addition here in the third. Dino Catani running for Burney after the leadoff walk. Runner on first, nobody out. First pitch to Waters is tapped down the line off the glove, but called foul. Called foul by the home plate umpire as the first baseman Reeder dove toward the line. It was off his glove and into foul territory, and it would have made things very interesting had that been called a fair ball. Instead, it's 0-1 as Waters tries to get some bottom of the order production. Led off the game yesterday, but is slotted into, you could call it the second leadoff position here in today's game. Hard foul ball to make it 0-2. Caden McNeil on deck for the Kingsmen as they try to mount a rally down by a half dozen against the Bennett School Rebels. Throw over to first, Catani back safely. Dino Catani, one of the players of the game in yesterday's varsity contest, 3 hits, including a home run. Hit his first home run of the year out to right field. There's Waters into right field with a base hit. 2-strike hitting from Ryan Waters. It's the second hit of the day for the Kingsmen, and they have second and first with nobody out for Caden McNeil. We're curious to see what we'll see from Caden in this at-bat. He tried to bunt himself aboard in the first inning, was thrown out. Runners on second and first, nobody out. Seems like an ideal bunting situation, but the corner infielders are ready for it. First pitch, McNeil bat on his shoulder, takes the ball just high. McNeil with some pop in the bat himself. Had hits in both varsity games the last couple of days. 2 singles and a triple. Outside corner strike to make it 1-1. McNeil, then Beatrice and Montgomery Hart. The top of the order due for the second time here in the third. First time Fetters has had to deal with multiple runners on. 1-1 pitch. McNeil off the end of the bat. That rolls toward the line and bounces foul. And it is 1-2. PBR has him listed as the fastest man in North Carolina. See if McNeil gets a chance to show off his speed here with 2 strikes. That's up the middle toward the shortstop, a bouncer. They flip to second for 1, and he hustles it out for a fielder's choice. Not the ideal way to reach a board, but just as I mentioned it, the speed on full display there. What looked like a routine double play ball turns into a fielder's choice with McNeil flying down the line. There's runners on the corners with Beatrice up in a big spot. First pitch, Owen Beatrice sends it into high right field corner. Playable for Dowell. Makes the catch. And McNeil was tagging and trying to get second. He dives back in as Catani scores. Heads up play by Judson Dowell. McNeil trying to take the extra bag and head to second. The throw went into second base, forcing him to retreat. But the run comes in to make it 6-1 as Beatrice gets himself the RBI. Montgomery Hart here with 2 away. First pitch, outside corner, and it is 0-1. Gummy has the hit in the first inning, 1 of 2 for the Kingsmen so far in the ball game. It's 0-1. McNeil still on first base. He takes off. That ball is down low, no throw down to second. And McNeil has himself the stolen base into scoring position. One. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Ground ball, first base side into right field. McNeil getting the wave. Throw comes in from Dowell, and diving in ahead is Caden McNeil to score the second run of the inning as Montgomery Hart has his second base hit of the ball game. Two runs in the frame for the Kingsmen, who make it 6-2. And how important is that stolen base? Third of the week for McNeil at the prospect level. He has 15 bags for the prospect team now. And he scores from second on the Montgomery Hart base hit. 2 hits for the shortstop. Check swing, ground ball to the left side for Izzy Classe, 0-1. That ball called at the knees. Classe behind 0-2. Izzy Classe recently entered the North Carolina rankings on Prep Baseball Report. Trying to get some 2-strike production here. That's inside. It hit him. Hart was moving as the ball got to the backstop, but he can slow up as runners are now on second and first. Big spot here for Hudson Entrekin. Kingsman would love 1 or 2 more here in the third. Answering the call from Bennett after the early lead. Still down by 4, but every little bit counts. Fetters is running into some trouble here in the third. Pitching to Entrekin. First pitch. And Hudson up the middle. Long run for the shortstop. Will not get there. Hart getting the wave. The throw comes in from Crosby, and it's up the line. An RBI single from Hudson Entrekin makes it 6-3. And here come the Kingsman bats. Three hits in the inning for the KBA, and they have halved the deficit here. It is 6-3. Quick meeting on the mound here between the Bennett coaches and the infield. The Rebel infield of 4, Gates, Avalos, and Reeder. Bubke doing the catching for Jackson Fetters. 3 runs here in the top of the third after Bennett had 3 in both the first and the second. We could have ourselves a ball game here. Anthony Seminara chopped a ball to the third baseman. It was a double play in the second. But he has another chance with a runner on. Now 2 runners on. Cosse on second, Entrican on first. He stands as the tying run. Out of Bluffton, South Carolina, near Hilton Head. He'll see his first pitch from Jackson Fetters here in the third. And he was out in front of it, behind 0-1. Good first pitch to go with the change of speed by the right-hander Fetters. Cosse on second, Entrican on first. Kingsman trying to keep the inning going. 0-1, and Seminara empty, 0-2. If the Kingsmen see another hitter, it'll be Tristan Harless, as the Rebels set to bring 7, 8, 9 to the plate in the bottom of the third. See what kind of a lead they still have. 0-2. And Seminara strikes out on 3 pitches. We go to the bottom of the third. The Kingsmen strike back for 3. It's 6-3 here in Houston. We'll be right back on the Kingsman Baseball Network. Bottom of the third here in Houston, Texas. A big inning for the Kingsmen. We'll see what they can do defensively. New pitcher on the mound for the black and gold. Harris Clark is on the mound in place of Micah Irving. And the first pitch thrown by Clark is hit into center field. Off the bat of Jet Bubke for a base hit. So if Harris was half awake before that pitch, I think he's to his senses now. That ball right back up the middle at him, and now he'll be working out of the stretch against Miles Horton. A walk so far. He led off the second inning, and he later came in to score on the Dalen 4 base hit. Clark comes set, runner on first, nobody out. Inside corner, and it is 0-1. Good pitch from Harris. Bubke on first, held on by Seminara. 0-1 pitch, and it's high for ball 1. Final game of the week for the Kingsmen. They head home tonight. They'll have the weekend off and then back for a big ABA conference series on the prospect side, battling DFC in another 3 games. They got swept in Virginia. I know they're out for revenge, having the Wolves at home next week. Kingsmen still just half a game back, at least going into this week. They were half a game back of TNXL for the lead in the ABA Prospect Conference. Runner on first, still no one out. 1-1 coming from Clark, slide step, and a ground ball off the end of the lumber, 1-2. Quick throw over to first. Nice day here in Houston, Texas, as the sun continues to peak out as we get closer to noon here local time. We're an hour behind the East Coast. If you're watching from the Carolinas, welcome in to the morning show. Another throw from Clark over to first. Seminara doesn't apply the tag. Big top of the third for the Kingsmen. It was a walk, a single, a fielder's choice, a sac fly, another single, hit by pitch, a third single, and then the strikeout to end it. High pop-up, Bernie chasing. Christian Bernie looking up and runs out of room. Ball deposited out of play. You think back to the fielder's choice, Caden McNeil grounding the ball towards shortstop, how important it was for him to hustle it out and avoid the double play, as afterwards, with just one out, Beatrice had the sac fly that would have ended the inning had there been 2 outs already. There's a pop-up, first base side, Bernie chasing again, but he runs out of room again. That one not as close. In fact, the Kingsmen with 2 outs got 3 base runners on in a row. Very easily could have been another 0 up on the scoreboard if not for the hustle of the Kingsmen leadoff man. 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. Horton at the plate, Avalos next. Clark stares down first, now comes set at the shoulder blades. Runner on the move, high, Bernie, throw down to second. Tag from Beatrice. Oh yeah! The sharpshooting catcher nails Bubke for out number 1. Two. And that ball hit Miles Horton. Interestingly, it looked like Christian Bernie caught that ball in the strike zone. So the hit by pitch with 1 away puts another runner on base for Aiden Avalos. Had a sacrifice bunt his last time around. Runner on first, 1 out. 6-3 is the score. The Bennett School trying to add to its lead. Slide step, first pitch inside. That one forced Avalos to duck away. It's 1-0. See if Horton tests Bernie at some point after he was able to get Bubke with a nice throw down to second. Outside, that one got past the glove of the catcher, and it's 2-0. Runner takes 90 feet on the wild pitch. Here comes Coach Joe Hudak, and Hudak calling off the infield. It's going to be a one-on-one with Harris Clark. We'll step aside for just 1 minute. 6-3 the score here with 1 away in the bottom of the third. Back here in the bottom of the third, Coach Hudak has chatted with Clark. We're in the bottom of the third, and it is a 3-run ball game here in the Lone Star State. Clark working against Avalos and misses low. It makes it 3 balls and no strikes, top of the order looming, and they have been lethal today against Kingsman. The Kingsman pitching and defense. The top 3 hitters alone have already put together 3 extra base hits and 5 hits total. In there, 3-1. Harris Clark, 27 arm out of Waxhaw, North Carolina. Similarly to Irving, uncommitted as he is wrapping up his junior year. There's a ball off the glove of Bernie, and he slipped, allowing the runner to head to third. It's 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes, now a runner on third base. Kingsman going to keep the infield back here with 1 away. Dalen 4, the next to hit, 2 for 2. Big 3-2 pitch here. And Clark missed behind him. Heck of a snag by Bernie. And the home plate umpire actually calling the hitter back to the plate. The umpire had the count as 2-2, and now it's 3-2. 4.
Good job, Mitch.
So the confusion cleared up. It is ball 4. Runners on the corners here with 1 away. Top of the order, Dalen 4 next to hit. Slider down low, 1 ball, no strikes. Check down to second, no swing, says the base umpire. 2 balls and no strikes. So working from behind against Dalen 4, and has been a dangerous equation so far. 4 was ahead of the count both times against Irving and ended up with a single and a double. His first 2 at-bats. Now takes the 2-0 and it's 3-0. Clark needs to find the zone here against 4 and then against Crosby and Reeder the next couple of batters afterwards. Looking out of the stretch, Avalos has stayed put on first since the beginning of the at-bat. 3-0, inside corner strike. Kingsmen have been unable to keep the Rebels off the scoreboard in either of the first 2 innings. 3 runs for each of the first and second frames. Kingsmen answered back in the third with 3 of their own, but you'd love to keep the score line close. 3-1. Ground ball, third base side. Clase will go to second, and that ball dropped by Beatrice, had to scoop it. And the fielder's choice has everyone safe. fielder's choice, and then an error on Classe, allowing Avalos to reach second. The run comes in to score. So runners on second and first, left-hander up. Clayton Crosby's had a good day. And he sees a ball just off the plate, 1-0. Clayton Crosby walked his first time and then hit a 2-run home run to right field. The last time he was at the plate, Crosby had some time on the mound in yesterday's game. 1-0. There's a ground ball, first base side, and Seminara knocks it down, and he will tag Crosby for out number 2, but unable to turn the double play. So 2 outs here in the inning. And Carson Reeder will come to the plate next. Kingsmen have had a couple ground balls. Only 1 out from them. And because of that, the inning's still alive. 2 outs. Runners on second and third. Carson Reeder at the plate out of the windup. Clark's first pitch. Breaking ball. Beauty at the top of the zone. 0-1. Top of the fourth, we'll see Harless, Bernie, and Waters, 7, 8, 9. Clark ahead 0-1. Goes to the fastball, but misses away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Avalos is on third. 4 is on second. 1 run has come in the form of Miles Horton. The Kingsmen would be content here if the inning ended at 7-3. 1-1, back to the breaking ball, and he gets a pop-up. Shallow center, Ryan Waters coming toward it, makes the catch, and the inning is over. A couple of big outs from Harris Clark to get the team through 3. We head to the fourth. It's 7-3 here in Houston. We'll be right back as the Kingsmen try to find some more at the plate. Top of the fourth here, we get closer and closer to the halfway point of the ball game. It's been a high-octane offensive battle. 7-3 through 3, and Tristan Harless leading off the fourth against Jackson Fetters. First pitch off the plate outside. It is 1-0. Harless takes again, 2 balls and no strikes. Tristan Harless ended the second inning with a strikeout, the only Kingsman hitter prior to Seminara, the last at-bat, to go down with the K. It's 2-1 now as that breaking ball slips into the zone. He ended the second, and then the big third inning began with Christian Burney, who's on deck. 2-1, Harless takes low and away, 3 balls and 1 strike. And just as the third started with the leadoff walk, the Kingsmen would love a free pass to start the fourth. Fetters doesn't like his first sign. He comes in with the 3-1, and it's ripped to right field. Tristan Harless singles to start the fourth. Good piece of 3-1 hitting from the lefty. And the designated hitter does his job coming off the bench for one reason, and he does it that time to get the leadoff man on first. Christian Burney, the next to hit. So second at-bat, or second plate appearance for Christian Burney, and he hits a high fly ball to shallow left. Under it, as the shortstop Gates camps and catches. 1 out. First pitch hunting once again. Ryan Waters singled his first time. We'll see what the 9-hole hitter can do now. Outside corner, missed it for ball 1. Fetters working out of the stretch with Harless on first base. The Kingsmen down 4 runs here in the fourth. Waters grounds one foul toward the Bennett School dugout. The team has been in Texas since Saturday night. I'm sure everybody is ready to be home and in their own beds tonight. That's low. A good take from Waters, 2-1. McNeil is on deck, then Beatrice and Montgomery Hart. Dangerous couple of hitters coming up here for the Kingsmen as they try to get back into this game. Go over to first. Harless is back without too much worry. Waters takes away again. 3 balls and a strike. Three balls and a strike. Waters has the count in his favor and walks. Ryan Waters has reached base both of his first 2 times, and here comes McNeil in the top of the pecking order. Caden McNeil up with runners on second and first and 1 away. Similar spot to his last at-bat. And he takes a slider on the inner half. 0-1. He grounded into a fielder's choice his last time, stole second, and then scored on the Montgomery Hart RBI single. 0-1 to Caden. Inside of the zone, 1 ball and 1 strike. It's Harless on second, Waters on first. Kingsman looking for an injection of a few more runs here in the 4th. 1-1. McNeil into center field. That's a base hit. Station to station go the Kingsmen. They have the bases loaded with 1 away for Owen Beatrice. And that's what Caden McNeil can do. He singles to load the bases here in the 4th. Owen Beatrice had a sacrifice fly his last time to bring in a run. He'll look to see the ball on the ground in the outfield here this time. And he hits it into center. That ball hangs up for Clayton Crosby. Here comes Tristan Harless, and he scores another sac fly for Owen Beatrice. And that one's a shame because he hit it on the nose, but Crosby was right there to make the catch. 7-4. So here is Montgomery Hart, 2 for 2 in the ball game. The left-handed hitter up as the tying run. First pitch. And a swing and a miss on the changeup. Gummy, the starting shortstop for the Kingsmen, uncommitted. 2027 left-handed hitter out of Warren, Ohio. Looking for his 3rd hit of the ball game. Glance at second. And the pitch. Inside, and that one may have hit Montgomery Hart. The home plate umpire is calling him back into the plate. It looked like it hit off his back foot, and here comes Coach Joe Hudak to ask if maybe they have a second look at it. The umpires are going to come together, but the base umpire is saying he didn't have any better of a view. So 2nd and 3rd after the wild pitch. Here is the pitch. And it's in the dirt. So the positive of that ball not being called a hit by pitch is the Kingsmen do have 2 runners in scoring position. But Hart still at the plate here with 2 away. The next one to Gummy. And Hart takes it outside. Izzy Classe would hit here with 2 outs. If Hart can reach, he's ahead 3-0. And that one outside. They throw down to second. And with that, coming to the plate, Ryan Waters. And they call him out at the plate. The Kingsmen tried to steal a run. And we head to the bottom of the 4th. 1 run across to the Kingsmen at 7-4. Bottom of the 4th, Harris Clark back out there, starts off the leadoff man, Harper Gates, with a called strike. 7-4 is the score here in Houston, Texas. And that was a ball to make it 1-1. Curious to see what happens when we get around to the top of the 5th. Montgomery Hart had at least as it was called, a 2-1 count. That ball was fouled. Before that ball was in the dirt, the out was made at the plate to end the inning. And traditionally, you would see that hitter at the plate come up to lead off the next frame. Well, the only problem with that is the next pitch from Harris Clark runs inside and hits Harper Gates. The only problem with that was the home plate umpire had called 3 balls and no strikes at the plate prior to that pitch. The count should have been 2-1, and I'm curious to see if the Kingsmen try and get Montgomery Hart as the leadoff man in the next inning, or if it will be Izzy Classe. No official score here with it being a non-conference game. There's a foul ball, 0-1. Judson Dowell is the hitter. 1 for 2 on the day, a single and a pop out. Dowell had the single. He stole second and was stranded there in the 2nd inning. There's a towering pop-up, third base side of the infield. Montgomery Hart staring up into the heavens and makes the catch for out number 1. JT Darden hitting with man on first, 1 out. The Bennett School Rebels looking to win both matchups between the Premier and the Kingsman Prospect. One on a walk-off sacrifice fly in yesterday's game. Pitch in there, but called a balk by the base umpire, saying Harris Clark did not come set and come to a complete stop. So a free base for Harper Gates, and that strike will not count. So the first true pitch is a foul ball to Darden. 1 for 2, a double, and a ground out. JT Darden, the last hitter that has not yet seen Harris. That's by Bernie. From second to third goes Gates on the wild pitch. Infield going to come in here with 1 away. Pitch here to Darden. And there's the breaking ball. Top of the zone, a beauty from Clark. He's got 2 strikes on the Bennett left fielder. 1 ball and 2 strikes is the count. But Babke is on deck. Infield in for the Kingsmen. Out of the windup, 1-2 from Clark. Chopper, third base side. Hart will go to first, and the run scores as the ground out is 6-3 for JT Darden. 1 run comes in to make it 8-4 here in the bottom of the 4th. Unfortunate there for the Kingsmen. They had the infield in, but that ball hit straight down and got out to shortstop slowly enough that there was no chance for a play at the plate. 2 outs. And that ball ripped into left. McNeil with a good jump on it makes the catch to end the inning. So we head to the 5th. 1 run to answer as Bennett makes it 8-4. We'll be right back on the Kingsman Baseball Network. Back here in the 5th inning, and a long foul ball for Izzy Classe to start the inning. So question answered, the Kingsmen do not try to bring up Montgomery Hart in the top of the 5th. It'll be Classe, Entrican, and Seminara. Swing and a miss, 0-2. I suspect that in an ABA conference game that would have been ironed out. But I think with the non-conference designation this game has, I think they just decided not to dwell on it too much as Classe goes down looking on 3 pitches after that deep foul ball. Fetter's got him with the backdoor slider. There's 1 away as Entrican will hit next. First pitch to Hudson is low, 1-0. That ball lifted into the air. Third base side. 4 is chasing. May have room, and he does have room. Entrican retired. A long run that the third baseman, Dalen 4, had to run. He made a nice play, and there are 2 outs here in the 5th.
Good Jackson.
Fetter's first pitch to Seminara is in there for a called strike, 0-1. Anthony Seminara in the ball game looking for his first hit. Fetter shakes off once, now has his sign. Back to the fastball and a foul ball to the screen, 0-2. If we see another hitter, it'll be Tristan Harless. As Bennett, at least so far, making quick work of the Kingsmen here in the 5th. It's 8-9-1 due up in the bottom half for the Bennett school, 0-2. In the dirt, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kingsmen have scored in each of the last 2 innings. They'll need to find some 2 out and 2 strike production for that matter if they're going to keep that streak going. Jackson Fetters, 1-2 pitch. And he struck out Seminara with the breaking ball away. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Kingsmen down in order here in inning number 5, and they'll try to hold Bennett when we come back on the Kingsman Baseball Network. Bottom of the 5th here in Houston. Griffin Leonard on the call for you here on the Kingsman Baseball Network. Looking forward to a good last couple of innings of this trip, and the Kingsmen will hop on the Big Bird and head home to Charlotte tonight. 8-4 is the score. Bennett trying to find a way and win game number 2. They've scored in every inning of the game thus far. First pitch swinging strike against Miles Horton. Harris Clark looking to retire the side just like Bennett did in the top of the 5th. The Kingsmen blanked in the 5th for the first time since the second inning. 0-1, there's a high pop-up, shallow left and foul, 0-2. Hard ground ball. It got under Classe and into left. Izzy Classe will want that one back. It was hit as a missile, but it was right between the wickets of Classe at the hot corner. Runner on first, nobody out. Made a quick audio adjustment. Hopefully that clears up anything that was a little bit too loud here at the ballpark. Baseball USA, the complex here in Houston, Mendel Field. Beautiful site for today's ball game. That ball, check swing, appeal down to the second base position of the base umpire. No swing, 1-0. That ball away from Bernie slightly. 1 ball, no strikes. Aiden Avalos is the hitter. There's a swinging strike to make it 1-1. Nice pitch from Harris Clark to get things going again. Strike number 2 to Aiden Avalos. It's 1-2. Horton on base for the third time today, despite being 0 for 1. He's had a walk, a hit by pitch, just reached on an error. And Avalos trying to get him over into scoring position with the top of the order right behind him. 1-2 coming for Harris Clark. And a foul ball. We've talked all day about how the Bennett Rebels hitters have made Kingsman pitchers work today. And through 4 innings, the Kingsmen have still not registered a strikeout on the mound. Chance to get there first here with 2 strikes against Aiden Avalos. And time called by the right-hand hitter. The game has been relatively strikeout-free through 5 innings. The Kingsmen have only struck out 3 times at the plate. And another throw over to first. Slider poked back to the pitcher. Chance for 2. Clark throws it into center. Oh boy. Ryan Waters collects as the runner goes first to third. Horton has himself 90 feet away, and it's once again a ball hit in the infield that the Kingsmen have been unable to get an out on. I guess it'll technically go as a fielder's choice with an error on the pitcher. So runners on the corners, nobody out for Dalen Ford. can be difficult for the pitcher to make that throw coming off the mound because the angle changes so aggressively coming down a couple feet. The arm slot's got to be different versus when you're throwing it down to home plate. But there's a ground ball, shortstop side. Nice play from Hart, flip to second for one. Beatrice to first. 6-4-3. What a beauty. A run comes in to score as Horton crosses the plate. But what a play. Hart to a slide, and then the sidearm toss to first from Owen Beatrice, and the middle infield working in tandem for 2 outs. So Clayton Crosby up with the bases empty and 2 outs. Outside for ball 1. That will probably go up in the leaderboard for the best defensive plays we've seen from the KBA in their inaugural spring season. There's a line drive, left center field, hooking toward McNeil, chasing after it, and Caden McNeil with an excellent catch for out number 3. 1 run across to make it 9-4, but the Kingsmen looking good defensively after a couple of early mistakes. We head to the 6th, 9-4 here in Houston. Top of the 6th inning here for Tristan Harless and the Kingsmen. And a first pitch outside for Reed Traeger out of the bullpen to come in for Jackson Fetters, who pitched 5 good innings for the Rebels here in the ballgame. Harless takes a big cut and is empty on that one, 1-1. It's Harless, Bernie, Waters. Kingsman looking for a late rally here in the final 2 innings of the ballgame. 2 balls and a strike. Each of the bottom 3, Harless, Bernie, and Waters, have all reached today. There's a foul ball to make it 2-2. There's a changeup to get Harless for out number 1. The 2-1 fastball he saw came in at 93, and then to follow that up with the changeup, difficult to adjust to if you're the hitter. 1 out here in the top of the 6th. Christian Burney will be hitting next. He has attacked the first pitch he's seen in both of his first 2 times to the plate. He's swinging again here. Lifts it into right center field. Playable for Crosby, and there are quickly 2 outs. Hey, at least the man's consistent. Ryan Waters will hit with 2 away, nobody on. Final couple of innings here of this Houston trip. Been fruitful for the Kingsmen. A couple of wins and lots of good competition to face, which is always a good thing. Strike on the outside corner to get ahead of Ryan Waters. Kingsmen 2-0 with the varsity team against the prospect team for the Bennett School. There's a foul ball to make it 0-2. And then the Kingsman prospect team nearly stealing the win yesterday. Today's game may need another big inning or 2 if they're to come back and win. Lots of shakes for Traeger. It's outside. High. Bottom of the 6th, we'll see 3, 4, 5 for the Rebels. Reeder, Gates, and Dowell. There's a ground ball up the middle, a base hit. Ryan Waters has reached all 3 times he's been up to the plate, and he's got his 2nd base hit of the game to get this inning started in the 6th. The big day for Ryan Waters. They moved him down to the 9 slot. And he's gotten himself in some favorable situations and made the most of it. Caden McNeil, to the top of the order we go, fourth time around. McNeil hitting. First pitch out of the stretch, and a ground ball second base side. Coming in on it, the second baseman tosses to first, and the inning is over. We head to the bottom of the sixth. A man on, but nothing to show for it. The Kingsmen down 5 as we head into the bottom half of the second to last inning. We'll be right back. Prospect Baseball here on the Kingsman Baseball Network. Bottom of the sixth here in Houston, Texas. 9-4 is the score. Bottom six, the Kingsmen and the Bennett School. Final game here in Houston. Harris Clark has been in the game since the third and gets a first pitch skied pop-up foul behind home plate against Carson Reeder. The Kingsmen flying home tonight to Charlotte with the weekend off after a lift tomorrow. Well-deserved for the KBA boys after a solid week in the Lone Star State. 0-1. Slider in there. 0-2. Great pitch from Harris Clark to get the hitter in an 0-2 hole. It's Reeder, Gates, and Dowell. Carson Reeder 1 for 3. He doubled his first time. And here's the 1-2. Check swing, first base side. It's actually still 0-2, and that check swing makes that remain. Still 0-2. Nobody out in the bottom of the sixth. The Rebels and the Kingsmen. Final couple of at-bats before the series concludes. Bennett looking for a little bit more insurance. They've scored in every inning. There's a line drive in a deep left field. Going back, McNeil. Caden McNeil has it for out number 1. McNeil made a superb catch to end the fifth inning in left field. The ball hit by Clayton Crosby. Here is Harper Gates, who has walked and been hit by a pitch, but does not have a hit today. He's been stranded on third on 2 separate occasions. Out of the windup, first pitch from Harris is low, 1-0. The top of the seventh, we'll see 2, 3, 4 for the Kingsmen. They'll need at least 5, maybe more, depending on how the rest of this inning goes. 1-0 from Harris. Goes back to the slider. 2 balls and no strikes. Two up. Fastball and a foul ball. Hit off the bat of Gates into the catcher, Bernie.
Come on, baby.
Christian Bernie's taking some big hacks today. Nothing to show for it in the hit column. He's had a decent game behind the plate. Threw out a runner earlier in the ball game. There's a swing and a miss. Big pitch from Clark to make it 2-2. Threw out Jet Bubkey in the third inning. 2 balls and 2 strikes after the swing and a miss. Clark looking for 2 outs in a row to start the sixth. Slides to the plate, and a ground ball third base side. Clase up with it. Sidearm toss to first. 2 away. So here is Judson Dowell, the right fielder. 1 for 3. Hit the ball in the air every time he's been up. A single and then 2 pop-outs on the infield. Kingsman looking to stifle the Rebels for the first time today. A run in every inning thus far. There's a swing and a miss. A nice breaking ball to go ahead 0-1. Clark has looked great out of the pen today. Coming in the third inning in replacement of Micah Irving. He's given up a run in each of his first 3 frames, but has kept these hitters in check. Just off the zone there, 1-1. JT Darden will hit if we see one more batter. The next pitch. Fly ball right field. Hooking toward the corner. A long way to go for Hudson Entrican. Seminara the closest to it, but no one can get there, and there are 2 strikes. 2-strike pitch from Harris. A chase pitch at the shoulder blades. No swing from Dowell. Clark trying to get through 4 innings in relief. And his 2-strike pitch. High and in. 3-2. Clark has retired 5 in a row. He's got all 4 in the top of the order this time through. 3-2 is away, and that streak comes to a close. Dowell on first with 2 away. Clark against Darden, 2 outs, man on first, and a ball high to start the at-bat, 1-0. Slider in there, 1 ball and 1 strike. That ball lifted out into center. Coming in on it is Ryan Waters. He's got a ways to go to a dive, and that ball's down in center. Just shy of making an excellent catch in center field. It's a 2-out knock for JT Darden, and the inning continues. Dowell to third on the play. So still 2 away, but now back-to-back have reached. Darden's single. Putting runners on the corners with 2 outs. First pitch with the runner on the move is to the backstop. Bernie picks it up, and he stumbles, unable to come up with the baseball initially. Might have had a chance to tag Judson Dowell at home plate. Instead, the run scores. To second goes Darden. And once again, the Bennett Rebels find the scoreboard. That one down the heart of the plate, a called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Kingsmen are off the weekend. We'll play Monday. The varsity team has a home game against Grace Academy at Gardner-Webb. That matchup Monday at 4 p.m. local time in Charlotte. That ball hit a mile high into center. Ryan Waters camped, traveling toward right center, makes the catch and retires the side. So the flyout sends us to the 7th. 1 more run for the Bennett School, and we head to the 7th. 10-4. The Kingsmen going to need a half dozen here in the 7th if they want to win this ball game. We'll be back with 2-3-4 after this. Top 7 begins with the ball off the inside corner. Final half inning, unless the Kingsmen can come up with a big rally. And it is Beatrice, Hart, and Classe trying to get that started. Beatrice hits a foul ball to bring the count to 1-1. One pitch, and a swing and a miss to go 1-2. So Beatrice behind 1-2, then Montgomery Hart, then Izzy Classe. Couple of shakes from Traeger. Here's his 2-strike pitch. And a hard hit ground ball through the hole in center field. Up the middle, a base hit here to start the 7th inning. Beatrice, who already has a couple of ribbies, finds his first hit of the game. Owen had 2 sacrifice flies in consecutive times to the plate prior to that single. The most recent one hit it a mile just right at the center fielder. He absolutely smoked it. This time he keeps it on the ground and gets it through for a base hit. Here's Hart with nobody out. The Kingsmen scored 5 runs in the 7th inning of the game yesterday. Looking for another big last frame here. Got it at the knees, 1-1. There's a decent amount of professional and collegiate scouts in attendance today. Good to see both the guys in both dugouts, for that matter, getting some looks from folks interested at the next levels. 2 balls and 1 strike. Just high, ball 3. Chance for this inning to get going for the Kingsmen. Montgomery Hart has reached all 3 times to the plate thus far. 2 singles and then that controversial walk. He's got a 3-1 count here. And he took one in the zone. 3 balls and 2 strikes. That one buckled his knees a little bit. The count is full here to Gummy. Classe is on deck, then Hudson Entrekin. 3-2 and a strikeout. Hart could not find the barrel, and there is one away here in the 7th. Just the 5th strikeout for Kingsman hitters in the ballgame. Seminara's gone down twice, Harless has gone down twice, and then Hart, the K there. Through the 6 innings, Bennett has not struck out once. There's a swing and a miss from Classe, 0-1. I don't know if I've ever seen that in a ball game before. And teams of this caliber, it makes sense. A couple of really good ball clubs going at it here in Houston. In the dirt, 1 ball and 1 strike. Infield set to try to turn a double play in the ball game. Gates and Avilos in the middle infield, but that ball shot third base side, and it's a hit for Classe. Izzy has an opposite field poke to put runners on second and first. 1 out here in the 7th for Hudson Entrekin. And I mentioned it earlier, we saw the big 5-run inning yesterday, but it wasn't the only big inning the Kingsmen had yesterday. In their varsity game against the Bennett Prospect squad, they scored 8 in inning number 6. They were down 6 at the time. There's a swing and a miss. Second and first, 1 away after the swing. It is 0-1. And now 0-2 as that one drops in on the out half of the strike zone. Entrekin and then Seminara. Anthony Seminara on deck, set to get an at-bat against Traeger. As long as the Kingsmen get another hitter to the plate. Multiple shakes here from Reed Traeger. And he misses outside with that breaking ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Just the second pitcher we've seen for Bennett in today's ball game. Both teams only using 2 pitchers to get them through 6 and change. 1-2 pitch. And Entrekin waves and misses. Strikeout for Hudson, and the Kingsmen are down to their final out here in Houston. Anthony Seminara looking for his first hit of the game. Beatrice is in scoring position. Coste behind him at first. First pitch. High for a ball. Kingsman will likely head straight from the field to the airport after this. Busy travel day, trying to get home to Charlotte. Swing and a miss. It's in there for a strike. The Kingsmen down to their final strike today. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tristan Harless will hit if the Kingsmen get another hitter. Otherwise, the Bennett School will walk out with their second victory in as many days over the Kingsmen's prospect team. 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss. Breaking ball outside wraps up the ball game as Reed Traeger strikes out 3 in the inning. A couple of singles, but nothing for the Kingsmen in the 7th. And the final score is 10-4. We'd like to thank you for joining us here on the broadcast today. The Kingsman Baseball Network, home of Kingsman Baseball Academy and the Kingsman Baseball Summer Collegiate Team. Catch more Kingsman Baseball on demand. Watch out for a new episode of the Kingsman Corner coming out this weekend. I'll talk with Coach Hudak about the trip and as we get ready for ABA play to resume. So much to talk about this time of year. Thanks again for tuning in. Once again, the final score is 10-4. The Bennett School defeats the Kingsmen in Game 2 of 2. I'm Griffin Leonard saying so long from Mendel Field in Houston. We'll see you back in the Carolinas. That sounds pretty good to me. Thanks, and we'll see you soon on the Kingsman Baseball Network.